or the Orianna, but at least Team ANGKOR
able to pick up that Darius, so it's quite a huge shutdown. I would say that's a lot of gold goes into the pockets of Nash, and now Nash will be able to further catapult himself in the lead. And I believe that Nash right now hasn't died just yet, so he could be making a lot of play potential with that Orianna. Meanwhile, Bex is still down here trying to farm up a little bit, trying to get that adoration stacks. And again, Team ANGKOR really needs to be careful with Bex and also Freddy as well.
It's going to draw the rolling death all the way towards that Baron lane. It does connect, but Master Yi will be finished off by Nash eventually. Private Proc turns around with Noxian Guillotine, but Shockwave will be his end. He will take this Alistar with him, but it is still rule number 1 that walks away with the win.
I would say it was an even trade. I mean, I was hoping that perhaps maybe rule number 1 could get the tower as well, but because Henna and also Robo7 was there as well, so it opens up near, and now rule number 1 will be taking a look towards Herald and will be able to secure that as well. Now this gives in a lot of opportunity for rules number 1 to just keep on sitting those towers, try and gain control over the map presence by taking down all these tier 1 turrets.
Yeah, and we've seen what they can do with the Repair, right? The timing is always great, and you see Bex looking for Reem. He's going to use that Blood Rush. Make it rain, it's not going to connect. Reem is going to pop that barrier, but Bex runs him down, has the rip off. That GA is definitely going to pop. Bex does not have the resource to follow up, but taking up the GA will make Reem very vulnerable for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, popping the GA as this early is really good, because right now I believe that Team ANGKOR is trying out the same strat whereby Reem will be, like Team ANGKOR will be leaving Rim alone on towards the Dragon lane to try and counter out this Bex, but Bex is just proven to be a stronger opponent.
And Master Yi now goes into full recovery mode. Snoopy JMK really needs to farm for couple of more minutes for him to have a chance to be effective. Casino might not give them the chance. He shows up in that Baron lane, excuse me. So Whirling Death does fly through as well. Hits onto BJMK. Zeno checking the jungle, sees the Master Yi, and won't be able to steal anything from him.
So far, I think there is a chance that Team ANGKOR could be possibly winning this game. The Darius is quite strong at this point. Yeah, sure. I mean, he did die a couple of times, but they are actually quite strong at this point. So if they could play around the Darius, it could potentially mean Team ANGKOR could actually have a chance to win the game.
Yeah, and Highlanders gets popped immediately. Newbie JMK goes in with the Alpha's try to get a great Dragon's Rage from Zeno on the 4. They follow on with the Shockwave. Noxian Guillotine from Private Plot is not enough. They bring out the Unbreakable, but they will be broken regardless, as Robot 7 is going to kill off the Orianna, but in the end, Team ANGKOR already lost 3. They are going to be made in 4. Rule number 1. What an amazing fight.
The Dragon Rage was hands down the most amazing Dragon Rage I've ever seen. That kick into that 3-man was just enough to give room for Nash to deal so much damage, and now Reem will be the last one to defend this tower, and tier 2 turrets might be, I mean with the Herald as well, the rule number 1 will be able to take this tier 2 turret.
That best roundhouse kick if you've ever seen. And like I said, I don't like Zeno being that humble when he says that he doesn't think his favorite champion is Lee Sin. I definitely know his favorite champion is Lee Sin.
He's definitely the best Lee Sin player I've ever seen in my life right now. The Dragon Rage was just absolutely bonkers.
And now with everyone from Team ANGKOR responding, they are desperate to make something happen. The Ocean Drake will be the objective. But they gotta be careful though, because Flare comes in from behind. It's gonna catch Reem as well on the other side of the map. Everyone's getting run down. Look at Flare! He's solo killing this Misfortune. Meanwhile, Nash gets himself a double kill. Reem trying to dodge the Whirling Death, and Flare will not be able to finish him off. But Team ANGKOR, they lost 3 regardless.
Flare, that was just absolutely amazing. Oh, Zeno finally was able to pick up a kill right there by Rev. He knows that the flash is up. So Zeno was like, you know what, I'm going to try and get this kill. And he managed to do it. Flare did a really good job on zoning Rem out of the fight, and they managed to pick up a couple of kills, which gives them the opportunity to take this Ocean Dragon and just open up, just widen out the gap of the lead that they have at this moment.
And this game has completely spiraled out of control for Team ANGKOR.
Most definitely.
It definitely feels like that the ball has completely been they have completely lost possession of the ball. So they definitely will be able to take this game, I would say, unless rule number 1 makes a huge mistake.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, looking at our previous game that we have casted, we have seen like a couple of games that some teams had the lead, but all of a sudden it all came crashing out when they made that one crucial mistake. But looking at the rotations from the side of rule number 1, the chances of them actually making some mistakes might be able to, and see
These Hannah and Nova 7 are there to protect Reem, but even then,
Middle turret is on my way.
Fredo says, guys, I'm on my way. They found Hannah. Hannah needs to get away. Just have to stand behind me as the bullet tank is used up, and Fredo's gonna show up immediately. Starts spinning like the Beyblade that he is. Blade meter gets used. The shockwave bit hitting thin air, not gonna connect onto anyone. So that is a big bullet that Team ANGKOR just dodged.
And to be honest, look at how well informed Fredo is. He knows that he doesn't want to expend too much resources, right? So he just walks by. He had that TP available just now. He knows that he's going to need it later, so he just walks down towards the Baron lane, the Dragon lane, try and assist out the team. I mean, he was able to pop a couple of GAs. So now, on towards the side of Team ANGKOR, they have one player with no GA, so it's going to be an opportunity for rule number 1 to just try and win the next couple of fights.
Team ANGKOR, they want to at least get those pickoffs, but they don't have the necessary champions to do so. Again, when you are lacking champions like the Malphite, the Lee Sin, it makes things 10 times harder. Pro's gonna try though, gets a hammer stack onto Fredo. Doesn't have the every hand yet. Looks like it's dead. Next up, Glittin will be out. Fredo definitely is gonna beat to death, but he just eats the handy foot to regenerate his health. Fredo does not go down.
Look at the smile on Fredo right
like,
now.
Hey, you think you got me? Nah. Not today. Not today.
Oh my god! I mean, Private Floor is gonna scratch his head right now, trying to figure out how he's gonna do it. Oh, Fredo got a little caught right there with his explosive cat, trying there, but the stun actually comes up, and 3 men will be go on Fredo. GA will be popped. How is he gonna retaliate?
TP round top as well. Bash comes in. Fredo just throws his body, doesn't go down. The rocket will land, doesn't re-engage. From rule number 1 as a Robot 7 finally barely flops him to death. But Nash goes on the killing spree and he claims another one for himself. He is on a rampage. Rule number 1, do not mess with Fredo. That's gonna be a second tower going down.
What do you mean, Fredo? What was that play? That was absolutely amazing. Like how is that? How is he was able to survive that long? This shows how good Fredo is. If we're talking about Garen. If we're talking about Garen, as simple as it sounds, Fredo just made Garen great again.
Okay. Basic but effective.
Exactly.
It's the easiest way to describe how good Fredo
is on the Garen.
Cloud Drake has just spawned, but rule number 1, they will definitely be able to take it away. And at this point, I think when you talk about how Team ANGKOR wants to bring this back, it's hard to find, it's hard to find a reason, right? And this Draven has been on an absolute roll. He's gonna see a newbie GMK. Nash is dead to provide the backup. The spinning axe is just gonna kill him off. He does have the QSS, but the Ruling Death, and watched him retract it right on point, dodged by the Alpha Strike, but it's not enough.
God. What was that whirling that? Bex timed that perfectly. I thought he was just throwing out for the troll, but apparently a fight right here. And Flare, they got right here, and 5 seconds remember already fight, and Flare will be able to go down here, but probably will survive right there.
Enemy
And
killing
Private
spree.
Plot will try and make something happen here. Starax have already been popped, so Starax won't be available for a couple of seconds on Private Plort. So it's going to be really difficult on how they want to play out this match.
Yeah, and with those 3 pickoffs, rule number 1, they can easily just go. They can easily just go for Baron, but they decide, you know what, Baron is overrated. You know, we don't need a Baron. I think, perhaps, maybe, yeah, they're not going for Baron.
They're not gonna go for Baron
And
this
Team
time.
ANGKOR just respawn.
Bottom
Yeah,
turret
I
is
mean,
under attack.
they think that at this point they can still try and shove the wave a
Bottom
bit.
turret is under attack.
They have this I would say condition whereby only at a certain condition are met, only they will take Baron. Because right now I mean, I've been noticing like every single game, and we might see Fredo might get caught out here.
Yeah, and speaking about that, Private Plot definitely got caught out into the stasis, and Backside is gonna reposition himself. Shockwave does miss, but Private Plot has to use his flash. So this is again going to be another challenge that Team ANGKOR needs to face, and Xeno is just starting on them right now. Like, this is
Inhibitor turret is under
American Ninja Warriors, Wild Rift version.
Okay, and I just can we just talk about how Bexet was absolutely amazing. How, I mean, the way, like, look at how strong and confident he is when he just TPs onto Fredo with 3 people still on top of Fredo just now.
Yeah, and again the reinforcement, right? You thought Fredo was gonna die. No, Fredo never dies. And finally, after a lot of consideration, rule number 1 decides to go for the Baron.
Yeah, because they really need this Baron to try and go for that one last push. They already got all their items. They are pretty they're pretty stacked up with those items. So I think they have a great chance of closing out the game right now. And if they did, thus winning them, they really need that 20 grand, man.
I mean, it's just insane how insane how rule number 1 has been able to be consistent. I think consistency is what makes a great team. As show in the top lane. There we go. The setup once more. All 3 lanes pushing in. This is kind of the same final chapter, right? Like different game, same story. We're about to see Xeno go into mess around, but Flair immediately engages with a headbutt polarized. It's just to buy time for them to take up inhibitor turret though. As rule number 1, they're going for the win. They won that 20,000 ringgit. Nexus inside. They're gonna pat their KD a bit as they pummel on that throne. Nexus goes up, and rule number 1 are your grand champions.
GG, well played right there.
And congratulations, after all these matches in the best of 5, these are your grand champions of the Creators Collision League of Legends Wild Rift rule number 1.
Holy, that was
There's only one rule, which is
never trust Gamer or Moise.
Yeah, either one of it. Well, we